visuals, there was nothing really positive for BREN. Now, coming into Inferno, I'm hoping they manage to find that performance yet again and deliver the same kind of finesse that we've seen in that first half, but there really is no telling. One thing that was a good sign, though, was Dobu getting involved early on alongside Cabal and Urkas. That's what we needed to see. But on the other hand, over on the BREN side, I was quite impressed by Pro. I feel like he didn't have, I mean, in a game where you lost the first half 11-4, there's going to be very few highlights, and Derek took one of them. But I think he was consistent round to round. He was on 17 kills before we even reached the end of the half. And considering the atrocious scoreline that they had at the end, I am pretty impressed that he was able to do so much. Just a shame that he was almost the only one doing it.
Well, that's the problem. And again, we're sort of looking at this team and going, is it just that they haven't had enough practice with Micro, or is he just still not good enough? Because he was getting absolutely wrecked all the way throughout that game. He ends on 10 kills, 22 deaths. I'm sort of mentioning that he's not really in a supportive role. In fact, a lot of the time he was playing that rotational mid player, which, if anything, is a fairly aggressive role. Like, you want to be taking peeks, getting involved in a lot of fights, and a lot of the time it seems like they try to just plug holes that are made by him. Like, oh, let's just put an AWP on B. Like, that's not a fix. You've just tried to come up with something on the fly and it hasn't worked. So he needs to be better here. And this is an interesting pistol round. 3 men towards short, the 4th in mid. No real rotational options. Normally you put the heavier stack towards the arch side so that if they do go pushing in this direction, or if they go pushing in the other direction, more importantly, you have a rotation. Instead, they put them in towards the short side, which means Urkus kind of has to kill a fair few people. Now, he does have an incendiary, which he's actually just hard facing at the moment. I assume he's just going to save this for the retake. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this works out for them, because I'm not the biggest of fans when it comes to a pure retake setup on the B side of Inferno, which is almost renowned for being one of the toughest sites to retake.
Well, that smoking a banana is going to help them. They have to isolate the fight on Pappy. They do it. Dobu, he's in with 3. Wrecking face, what's going on? Dobu threw the smoke for a 4th. This guy's unreasonably good. They push on in. Dobu falls eventually, just shy of the ace. But Cabal is there to trade it. What was that from Dobu? How's he gotten away with 4 kills? They were so quick as well, those 2 on the site. We didn't see them. But I hope we've got a replay of it. And here you go. 1, 2. Oh, man. 3 on the tap and then through the smoke for the final. That's just ridiculous. I mean, it's nothing to do with their setup for the retake B. That's just Dobu wrecking.
Yeah, that was really impressive. Like, I can't really take much away from them. As said, it's one of the toughest sites in the game to retake. I remember seeing some stats recently, and obviously the B site was one of the most on train to be retaken, and the B site of Dust 2 is again one of the toughest. So the fact they made that look so easy, obviously it does help if one of your players just walks in and gets 4 kills, but you know, I didn't expect that to be so easy. And well, BREN, well, we saw them give up the last second round after winning the pistol. Now they've got to try and do the same themselves. Derek with an AK, Wits alongside him, and Pro on a Galil. It leaves Pappy and Micro slightly worse for wear. We'll see if they can make anything of this round, because there's some, well, pretty heavy investment into SMGs, which is quite common on this map. Obviously, you're going to go for utility the majority of the time, especially on the B side. And they've been able to gamble stack. Even with NCL only having an MP9, they've still got 4 players on this A side.
Sometimes you got to roll the dice, right? And I guess that's what they're going for here. I like this from Urkas. He's inside the smoke. He's going to come through any second now. Any second. Any second now. Any second. There we go. Okay, he's managed to get a double. Ooh. Closes it out. Nicely done. Those players weren't looking at him until that smoke faded, but he's managed to come up big. And NCL, he got a little bit confused there by the 2 players. I think 2v3 retake should be doable.
Well, yeah, Dobu is still standing, so I guess he makes things easy for them. Already the first kill comes up for him, and it's left all on to Pro. Yeah, double retake. 2 rounds back to back. It's Dobu doing the heavy lifting. Obviously, in that round, I think we mostly have to give credit over to Urkas with a tasty couple of kills off. They lose the entry. The interesting thing for me now is, do BREN force again? Because they forced when they had enough for 2 AKs and a Galil. Now they have enough for 2 AKs, potentially 3, and then 2 Galils. So they could upgrade slightly, and they know that their opponents aren't still going to have the best of buys because they killed the majority of them. So I can see the reasons for going for it. At the same time, if you get some Tech 9s, maybe a few Deagles in there, and then have a 4x for the next round, that's probably the slightly better option. And yeah, that's what they go for.
Yep, it makes sense. Definitely, if you want to try force some of those close range fights and do some more damage, they need to walk out of this with 2 kills. Keep that economy low from Tiger. And you know, Tom, I think that, especially on Inferno, playing slow rounds is massively underrated. You'll see a lot of people saying, like, oh, just rush B or whatever. If you can manage to bait out the majority of their utility, that alone is going to cost them because you need it. On a map like Inferno Pro, straight on in with 1, but that's all he's going to get. And that's all she wrote, unless Derek's got a big play. 1v3, but bomb is down. So even that opening kill, which is completely torn open the A site, doesn't really get them anything. He's got a 1v2 on this B side as Cabal just watches the flank, but eventually decides to watch the flank from this side as well, where he can support his teammates. And I don't see any opportunities or openings really for Derek to get in there.
Yeah, they've got no real reason to overface in this situation. Although NCL felt the need. Buffs his KD slightly. And now we get the first proper buy. Now, they've kept them fairly honest on BREN. They've done a decent job of at least reducing the economy. The only worry for me is just the amount of AKs we see on the opposing side as well. Like, already being built up. A hell of a lot of utility as well. It's not going to be an easy round, but if BREN can win it, then they can get off to at least a decent start on their T side.
There's always time to have that slower start when it comes to the terrorist side. I could see them go down even 5-0 before they get their first round on the board, and then I wouldn't feel too terrible. As long as they can do it in the buy round and have some sort of repeatable process. Now it's just a learning game. I'm going to try to figure out exactly how this is being played by Tiger, and you can see it is a relatively passive hold. It's apartments where they're looking to do the majority of their damage, with 3 players playing around that position. 1 from Boiler, 2 from up more aggressively, watching for the push on through. But it's not the A site that's going to be pressured at all, and this kind of setup is heavily reliant on at least some A control. Instead, these B players who are super passive are left in a position where the rotates are going to take forever to get there. So that's why after no contact, Dobu decides to push all the way down second mid. He's cleared it out. He's on an early flank, first of all, but almost more importantly, allows for this early rotate by 9 to come into play.
What? Because that's a surprising miss. I thought that'd be an easy kill for him, and because of that, things have gone a little bit wrong. However, Cabal and 9 already bringing this one back. Bomb will be planted by Derek, his teammate somewhat just cowering in the corner, and they're going to go for a double-up play. Oh no, they're actually going to go for a boost. Oh, I'm not sure about this. It gives them a slight angle, but it does give away instantly that there's 2 players within this corner. The second they get the kill, I thought they'd go for a bit of a bait and switch. Nice shot from Pappy, though he's not going to get the second. And Derek has found the trade. It's on to NCL, and Derek's going to close it out. Too close for comfort, that's for sure. But as said, it really doesn't matter now that they've won the round, as the economy for Tiger is in tatters.
The benefit of all the damage they've done, yes, some players can buy, but look at NCL, Dobu, Urkas, no rifles really can be afforded there, especially if they want to have utility, but they're going to force buy up. I mean, we do see it quite a lot when it comes to Inferno CT sides, but even that force buy, Tom, does not have a lot of utility. I mean, they are... they're coming in light on this one, that's for sure. What, 4 smokes, excuse me? And that's it, really? Apart from a couple of flashes. No kit either. This is not the best of buys. Honestly, I would have rathered pistols, but they want to get in here early while Brent still have low money and do the damage.
Here comes the execution. They're pushing into what is the stack of this CT side, and, well, they've come out relatively clean, considering that was all the rifles invested as well. Now, this flank from NCL is actually very fast indeed. He's managed to round the corner. He's picked up a rifle, but he's actually not using it. I don't know if he doesn't realize he's picked it up, but there we go. Urkus has found an AK as well. This definitely isn't done just yet. There is potential, but a nice shot from Pappy is going to leave NCL as the last man standing in a 1 versus 3. Needs some pretty hefty mistakes. He's actually going to try and take the exact same angle, and hey, he's done one better than Urkus managed in just a few seconds ago. NCL even gets the second, and, well, Derek eventually there for the trade. They're making these rounds so costly. In fact, there hasn't been a clean round so far in this match, excluding maybe the pistol. At the same time, BREN should now get one.
Cabal found a double with the deagle. Other than that, though, there was nothing from the rifles, and that is a huge problem. You know, the reality is, for Tiger, considering the fact that there was the M4 that Cabal found the double with, then he went to the deagle, but considering the fact that they invested so heavily, they got not a lot done. It comes down to 1v1 in the end, which was a good recovery, but the reality is this round here should be pretty clean. And then BREN build up the money that Tiger were desperately trying to avoid. Now, I want to take you back to the previous round and say I would have rather them take out 3 or 4 deagles and worked with it that way. Maybe a more aggressive play, whatever they wanted to do. To keep BREN's economy low, just to deal the damage, and then they would have a really strong full buy coming into the next round. Instead, they've decided to go for this very ballsy play, which puts BREN up 3-3 before money can eventually come out for Tiger. And as we said, the more important part of that is where they tried to get in early to deny BREN any economic buildup. They inadvertently, by losing that round, allowed BREN to get a whole bunch of cash.
Derek is making some pretty bold plays, though. We're almost caught out by the timing, but instead it's going to be a fairly easy first kill. And I think something I've learned about this series is that the first kill seems to be so much more important than most other matches. Like, neither of these teams have been pretty good at bringing back rounds once they've lost that initial play. Although 9, I'm not a fan, is spraying through the smoke, especially with the A4. Means they know where he is. Cabal's going to go flash through the smoke from Dobu. It's only 1, though. And this actually gives them a potential path towards that B site. However, BREN slowing things down a little bit. They've got to be careful because that smoke has been there a relatively long time. Will begin to fade. 9 waiting on the other side of it. They're not going to spot anything out just yet. It seems like they want to put the pressure onto short. There's 2 players around this position, although saying that, it seems like there's not much of a crossfire here at all. 9 will get 1, even hits the dink onto Pro. And I wonder if they'll even expect Dober to be here at this point, because it's a bit of a peculiar position to take if your teammate's pushing up onto short. You kind of expect him to be backing up from the pit. Instead, mini pit seems like a little bit of an off angle. They are going to check for it, but only very briefly, and it's a free kill onto the first. This should be a trade, but never mind. Pro low enough from the initial dink that Dobu's going to end up with both. A very good start to this map from him, and more importantly, a 4th round on the board.
Well, they've at least managed to bounce back, but here's the problem. We spoke about the fact that BREN do come in with a decent buy, and I want to see where they try to focus up with this op primarily. You know, Wits to me doesn't strike me as a particularly aggressive opper, certainly not on a consistent basis. Didn't have the best at times on the previous map either. I'll be keeping an eye on this man, and he's been mollied off the position he wanted to hold. They're getting aggressive straight down Banana, and they'll just smoke this off, and I presume... Ooh, deep nade as well. I'm not going to hit anyone. I presume just leave NCL solo holding that on the SMG. Now, I like the decision as well. It's a very small thing, Tom, but you see Cabal was the one that smoked down bottom Banana so that the solo B player still has a smoke left. This allows him to either light smoke down towards the bottom Banana. He's actually backing off. Or just drop one to delay them, and he definitely needs that kind of utility if he's alone. It's weird that I have to compliment that, but we've seen it from so many teams where they wouldn't do that. Where, like, the solo B guy throws his molly early round, then just doesn't have any utility, and you're like, what are you doing? Oh, I thought he was going to push that smoke. I really did.
Marcus. Little pop flash from Cabal. Gonna get the opener. Should be traded very easily. And, well, Micro will get that done. Nice shot from Cabal, though. Through the smoke is going to net another kill. And now they're going to try and run the gauntlet all the way back onto this B site. NCL, this is an interesting position for a man with an MP9. I don't know if he's trying to sell the idea that this is completely free. I wonder if they'll check it. Papi Chulo should, and he will. And he still manages to get a kill. But again, that trade is all too easy. Bomb will be planted. Now the timer starts ticking, but the CT side again, advantage in their favor. Wits looking for the shots with the AWP. He's going to be able to find one. He's got support from Pro as well, lurking around in the ruins. And he's going to be able to find Dobu. It's left all onto Cabal, 34 HP. And so much left to do. A missed AWP shot will give him a little bit of extra space, but the rotation from Pro, never mind, he misses. Again, BREN, it always seems to be one player. That's at least 3 rounds, though, that they've won with one player standing.
Well, 4-4. The back and forth fight continues. The game of ping pong, as we're seeing it. And if you're BREN, I think you have to have a smile on your face. Realistically. Let me go and take a look at the stats that we've seen from Inferno between these teams. Or of these teams, rather. Oh, they're losing players. They're dropping like flies, Tom. An aggressive banana push without a teammate to support versus pistols? Are they crazy? Have they taken some drugs? Why did they think that was a good idea? In what world? Oh, reverses pistols. I'll push banana by myself. Oh, I'll flash for you. No, I'll just push. I don't know, man. That's just stupid.
CL. He's not going to save a Mac 10, is he? Surely not. Mac 10, no armor? Oh, no. Mac 10, no armor, but a deagle. Surely it's worth just going for a kill here. Even if it's one. Like, you know that only one player survived in the last round. You really can look to make this a little bit more costly for them. Also, well, depending on what weapon you use, $300 to $600 available. It seems like the remaining players are just going to try and save in the pit. Well, I don't think there's really any way that you can do anything about this. So the Mac 10 is going to be kept. Now, Dobu has low enough money where maybe it's worth giving this a go. Like doing something a little bit aggressive. Because otherwise he is going to be just playing with what would be a bare bones rifle. It should be a buy, though. No matter what the case is here. This definitely should be a buy. We are going to see weaponry actually juggled over. In fact, it's going to be NCL to actually take the Mac 10. He's actually been playing all right so far. Obviously, the man that we normally expect to be a little bit further down the board in comparison to his teammates. But all right, he's taken the Mac 10 role in this round. And oh, my lord. Whoa. What?
There's one thing I'll say about BREN. They love pushing banana by themselves. They really do. I feel like it's a fetish almost. It's like they can't get the rocks off unless they're solo up banana. They don't like. Do you know what it is, Tom? It's like when you go into the toilet. You know, you're at a urinal. You don't like people watching. It's weird. Someone comes and stands next to you, like, nah, go away. I did this by myself. That's what they're doing. Basically at the urinals. What I'm saying is I think their style is so on a 1 versus 4 for Tiger, I think this round has to be locked down. It has to be theirs. There's no way this one slips away. Wits has gotten a 1v1. He's running with his knife out to give him that little bit of extra speed, baby. And down he goes towards the bottom of mid. And there's a player coming to banana. Whoops, he's faking the steps. This is going to be a little bit of a turnaround as he looks to move into the A side instead. 40 seconds left. I like that they actually smoked up and at it. I feel like that was a decent play to just slow him down. Possibly stop him from pushing. It's allowed this two-man stack to stay to Wits pick confidently. I mean, they're giving him the shots. What are you doing, you idiots? They've given him the peaks one at a time. 40. There was 30 seconds left. He had to plant the bomb. And so they peeking up one at a time. Oh, I hate this team so much.
This is the potential 1v4 for Wits. Like, whether or not his opponents have made mistakes, he's still taken them with open arms. And now, Dobu, the last man standing. He's been winning the majority of these clutches. He's been fantastic in retakes, but normally has teammates behind him. He's even going to go pre-firing in towards the lower part of the apartments. A missed shot from Wits, but he just has to bait down the time. Even a matter of seconds now, and he's won the round. There's no kit available. Dobu has to go running for the hills. And Wits has just pulled off the 1v4 clutch. Some atrocious decision-making from the side of Tiger, but at the same time, this man landed everything.
Huge by Wits, 100%. I mentioned I don't think he's an aggressive upper, and so for a clutch like that to happen, really well played by him. But Tiger, they've been lobotomized, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. Something's happened. They've went in for a dentist treatment. They missed the drill. It went into the brain. Each one of them, same tragedy to each of them. That's the only explanation. This is atrocious. Oh, we're going to beat Tyloo. Well, play like that. I dare you. You're going to get smacked. And if this is them after putting work in from the previous RMR, it must be possessed by some gold novas. That's the best explanation I can come up with. Some ghosts of some gold nova 4s have gone into their bodies and taken over. God, that infuriated me. Why? Like, why? Just every step of the way.
I'm almost enjoying just letting you stew a little bit in it.
Yeah.
It's disappointing from a team like Tiger. Like, if I see Huatsai do that, it's annoying. If I see After Gaming do that, I expect it. If Tiger do it, though, that's just silly. Like, all they have to do is wait. That's it. That's literally how you win the round there. Just do nothing. And, I know I'm a bit of a fidget, but that's a little bit of an overstatement. Nonetheless, Dobu, AK, we've got 9 with a USP and armor. Interesting. Is he playing alongside the AK? No. I don't, yeah, okay. Whatever. Let's stop trying to work things out. Smoke gonna go down. NCL be sat back. The AK is actually playing the distance game, but he's going to be forced off by the Molotov. So chances are it's just going to be onto the couple of players. NCL actually does get tagged through the wall, forced to move back a little bit, but still goes for this close play. Why does he keep pulling out a smoke? That's the second time. He needs to keep his gun out in those sort of situations, and Dobu, he's meant to be the surprise. Now, they checked this last time. I'd be disappointed if they don't again. Well, they definitely know now. Micro, before he can even check. Dobu's been fantastic so far, but he can't quite do anything versus Pro. He's bought some time for the rotation, and, well, 9, maybe that Kevlar will play a part, as he's going to pick up an AK-47 alongside it. His teammate a little bit further behind. Of course, they might as well risk everything here. Give it a go as Cabal has managed to drop the bomb. There's only a few seconds left. They have to go for the plant. If the spam lands, he wins, but Derek will get it instead. BREN, by the skin of their teeth, get this over the line. And that seems to be the story of their match so far.
Phasmophobia is a very popular game at the moment. I reckon these boys have tried to play it in real life because Papi Chulo is just being possessed as well. Silver Elite Master this time because he's gone out in a 3v2 when they had the bomb and they were trying to plant it with very limited time, and he's pushed into a deagle and given him a 1v1 fight and almost allowed that to lose. Honestly, it's like banging your head against a wall. I'll explain for a second briefly. Wits, that clutch, insane. If I see that a month ago, I'm crazy hyped. I'm so excited. The problem is when you see these mistakes being made, those kind of opportunities offered up round on round, like that there was an eco that they almost won on time because BREN pushed one at a time and gave them opportunities. After a round where Tiger did the same thing to lose. It's just like, why? Like, it feels normal at this point where I'm like, oh, 5 USPs. Well, someone will probably ace it and win the round. And then that happens and you're like, yeah, I've just watched too much of this at this stage. It's crazy seeing this loose Counter-Strike again and again. This start for NC, oh, that's a great nade. Fantastic work done. Urcast is low, he gets a kill. They have a crossfire. Good setup. Cabal dealt with an Urcast. He's going in for a huge play. Couldn't quite deal with Wits, who's actually spotted a player out in CT. So he knows one is coming from there. He's going to plant the bomb. He's going to commit to it as well. And they might boost up. This could be so dangerous if they do. Especially if it's the optical. Oh, okay. It's a flash through the smoke instead. Well handled, I guess. What, he's got an op. Where else could he be? He could go down banana. It would have caught him from there. So the only place he could have been that he'd be safe would be coffins. And they weren't peeking wide for there. So there wasn't too much risk to that flash push. I like it. And I think this is a round I can appreciate. It's like going to a wine tasting course, Tom. And you've got 30 glasses of wine. I don't drink wine, by the way. I think it's disgusting. But there's 30 glasses of wine, and you really like wine in front of you. I'm not saying you. Tom's not an alcoholic. I'm just saying that, whoever this is, you, the person. And so you've got 30 glasses of wine, right? White wine. So it's all see-through. It's not even like the green tint, it's just see-through. And what these games are generally, Tom, is like 3 of those glasses are really expensive wine. I don't know. £1 million per bottle. It's unreal. It's like LSD. You love it. And then again, Tom, not into LSD, you know what I mean. He's Tom, alcoholic, drug addict. That's not him. And so then the other glasses, the other 27 glasses that you have to suffer through are just vinegar. And you have to drink the whole glass. And that's kind of what these games are. Like, there's 3 that you can appreciate. You're like, oh, I enjoyed that round. And then there's the vinegar.
Okay, well, thank you for the longest analogy of all time.
No problem.
With a million different caveats. But, yeah, I kind of get your point. A 4v3. Derek only on a pistol. Pappy with a rifle, but low. Potentially like to see a switch, but I don't know when they'll be able to do that. They need to try and find a pick here, and well, it's even starting to pull the hesitation of Urcas back towards the B site, as we've seen this many a time. An initial failed fight, a rotation back in the other direction, although they did just run back towards the top of mid, so it's a little bit pointless. But hey, it's fine. They're going to go pushing in. 9. Waiting. Nice flip. That was lightning fast. And while Dobu's there to support him in the end, a few tasty shots coming through from the side of Tiger, and they will net themselves a 6th round. And it's kind of weird saying that they've only got 6, because they should be winning, right?
Yes. Yes, they should. What, have you watched this game, Tom? On paper, things are very different.
Well, not even that. I mean, like, on paper they should be winning, but also the way that a lot of the actual buy rounds have been going, they should be winning. It's just that a lot of rounds they've just almost thrown them away. Like, it's been really, really stupid mistakes. Like, they've been dominant up until a point, and that just makes me feel, from even watching the match, that it feels like they're winning, but because of those silly plays, they're actually losing. It's a really peculiar feeling. And the same way, if you look at like the frag distribution, I imagine it would state that it looks like they're in the lead. It's really odd rounds. Well, now they really should be getting back to at least 7. If they somehow lose this round, I think Mitch is
I'm gonna jump out my window.
It's probably gonna be gone. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't think it will end well.
Money on the 2nd floor, but yeah, I'll jump out my window.
Oh, Marcus, he's going to find the pick. The chance of him being overwhelmed here, and Derek is going to kill him and retrieve an AWP. Now, they know they're against an eco, so going for the split seems a little bit silly, and now things are sliding back. A peek out, though, another kill for 9.
No, don't compliment that kill.
Now, Pro has only just picked up the AWP, so he didn't quite have time. And it was a good retake from Tiger.
No, it wasn't. 9 jumped. No, they knew he had an AWP. They knew that they had an AWP, and 9 jumped on top of the railings. And only that the shot missed, he'd be dead. That was stupid. It's another one of these things where it's like you won that round, but like you do not deserve it. Oh, they've got an op. First of all, solo B versus pistols. Second of all, then that guy who had an op died, and so you just go, I'm gonna peek out. And you get wrecked. 3v3. Then 9 runs up the alley. Look at this. Watch this. Stupid. Like, he hits the shot, but why? Why have you done that? It's just unnecessary. And I don't want to see one person, not one goddamn person, but he was flashed. No, he wasn't. That's one of those fake flash assists where it doesn't count at all. The dude could see completely, just he was too slow to react. And that was, God, they deserve to lose that round, and versus a better team, they would. Versus Tai Lu, they would lose that round. And this is what infuriates me. I don't care that it's versus BREN. In fact, I probably care more it's versus BREN, because they should be finished by now. They should have won this game. I should be down eating my lunch, not drinking glasses of vinegar.
Oh, another great round from Tiger as they get their 7th onto the board.
Shut the hell up, Tom. Oh, I'm going insane.
Sometimes you just have to let the forest fire burn down the forest. It's the only way to stop it.
Oh, that was
9
not good.
is going to be caught off on the boost spot. One that you normally fall off once you're flashed, but
Yeah.
he had other ideas. He had some spicy things planned. And now it leaves NCL as the solo hold on the B side. Interestingly, they've now rotated Urkas Orp onto A. So clearly feeling that he can have more impact there. He's going to go rotating back to the B side and actually leave this A side a little bit more open. Now, Cabal, after losing a man, has decided he needs to get aggressive. He needs to take some map control away, and he will. He's gained apartments. However, they've completely given up the arch control. And this means that there's going to be a split onto this B side. There should be no way anybody could stop this. They'll have heard the footsteps. Urkus is trying to watch it, but NCL's not aware. Urkus knew, but it seems like NCL didn't. Urkus, though, maybe just wanted the frag movie highlight.
Oh my God.
He managed to get 4 kills. What a huge play from Urkus. It started a little bit dicey, but he's now left it all onto Derek. And Cabal peaked, but he decided not to. No. I swear Cabal looked at him planting the bomb. Ah, never mind. He just wanted Dobu to have another retake.
I can't.
8-7, another great round coming up from Tiger.
Shut up, Tom. Where's that thing of Joe Biden? Would you shut up, man? Like,
There was shut up, you clown, wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't watch the debate, I'll be honest. If anyone out there is an aspiring artist, Tom, maybe you can get Rin to do it. Just draw a picture of Urcast with the rest of the team in his backpack, please. Because that was and also, can you... I don't know how you draw it, but with them all lobotomized, that would be fantastic. And that would be a...
Just a surprised look on their face.
Just like staring off, drooling. No idea what's happening. Probably Urcast the same, to be honest, with some of the things that can
not
happen.
gonna get that. Like, if someone wants to pay a hefty amount for that to be commissioned, because I don't think that is a... I don't think that's an ideal drawing.
No, I don't think they'll use it as their profile pictures, but it will be accurate to what we've seen today. This has been sheer madness. Sheer, like, I think I've had more fun banging my head against the wall than I have watching
do that
some
regularly?
of these plays. After this, yes. They like it's just so bizarre. It's just bizarre. The amount of opportunities BREN are being given, like, this game should not be this close. And evidently we've gotten the second half of Dust 2 all over again. How I long for the first one. Maybe this is where things go back to normality, though. T-side. It's where Tiger are typically more comfortable in pistol rounds. Well, Tobu, he got a 4K in the previous and almost aced it. Let's see if he can do the same this time.
Yeah, cheeky little kill through the smoke, and hello. Also seen a dink onto pro. Now, the retake worked better when you have a kit, an incendiary, and some smokes to play with, whereas BREN are trying to do almost the same thing with none of the above. They use the smoke very early, and that means they don't have it for the retake, and thus they are getting absolutely slaughtered. Cabal, he wants a free kill, and he's actually going to get it. Pro was even waiting, but it doesn't matter. Second pistol. I believe that's them now Is that them winning both? It is, yeah, because they had the clean retake previously. So, yeah, they padded their stats a little bit with the last one. Now they're going to do it again with this one. I don't know how Dobu gets that kill, I'll be honest. Like, obviously, it's quite a common pre-fire spot, but he was straight up spamming. So to walk into that, interesting. But, yeah, another great round from Tiger.
Next time I see you, I'm going to strangle you. I hope you know that.
You're too small to reach.
We're literally the same height. I don't know, where this has come from.
You're like 4'6", right? Didn't you play R2D2 in the Star Wars
Screw
movies?
you, Tom. Screw you. All right, I'm not in the mood. Not in the mood for this. It was an
I'm
Ewok,
pretty sure
you know
those movies are older than you.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure too. It was like 1980. No, wasn't it? Yeah, 1980 when they were being made. The first ones, or the fourth one.
Yeah.
Well, this is self-flash by NCL through the smoke, and he's dead to a pistol. Let's see someone else push pistols one at a time. Let's go. Where's it happening next?
I like the investment into smokes, though, from BREN. Like, they've been doing this since the pistol round. They like to try and delay. It's similar to, like, an old style of Inferno that we saw regularly. Obviously, with previously having way more open skyboxes, you were able to throw them all the way from, like, outside the A site back into Banana and basically delay for an awful long time. That was changed for a reason. It was quite overpowered. They're trying to delay as long as possible. Another solo frag for Micro. It is now only the rifles remaining, so anything here onwards is relatively costly for the side of Tiger. Well, who knows? Maybe even the round's going to be slipping away. Still another smoke available for the retake. A flashbang as well, if needed. They actually cross over into the crosshair of Micro. Risky to say the least, but Cabal might be just looking to try and rectify things. He's got 9 alongside him. And now Derek is the last one remaining. Speaking of solo peaks, the CT side did the same thing.
As we said, this is where we typically see Tiger play that little bit better. And now that they're coming up against an eco, I expect for a whole lot more. I think for a spot of 10-7, or 11-7 as it should be, there should be no way that Tiger lose this one. However, I did say that earlier, and then Wits 1v4'd. So, I just don't know anymore, Tom. You got to take it on a round-by-round basis, and I think that's exactly what BREN need to do as well. They should take a very light buy in this one, and yeah, well, I mean, you couldn't even call it a buy, could you? They've got a nade, flash, and then a deagle. But this is exactly what you want to see from them. Low investment so they can get in a full buy in the next one, and then really do the damage.
Unfortunately for BREN, you almost have to feel like if they did win a pistol, they could be in the lead here, but maybe they'll win one now. Truly make Mitch lose his mind. Arcus is going to go pushing into the B side now. He's managed to clear it without seeing anybody. Now, that doesn't mean that there's nobody here. This means that they've had to fall out of the site because of the smokes initially thrown. Does mean that he can pretty much just gain complete control. And again, we talk about this man and his impact he has in a lot of these rounds. This is basically over just because of his own push. Like, the CT side can't really do anything. Okay, Micro's managed to win that duel. Dobu gonna go facing again. Bear in mind, NCL is very low on HP, so he has to be careful not to get overwhelmed. But Dobu has been fantastic in this game. Cleaning up rounds, great in retakes, but he's gonna fall. What is the USP? The flank as well from Pro! And NCO's only got 15 HP! There should be no way they lose this round, but they might just make it a reality just for Mitch, man. Although he's in a great corner and he lines them up. A bit of a off angle, I guess you could say. A little bit further forward in the cross. And they just about scraped that one through. How you feeling, Mitch?
Oh, great. Like I said, you know, should be an easy round. Nice and well controlled. Everything about it felt great. Just one of those fantastic days. Just happy to be here. Happy to be alive, you know? Where I'm at. At least, like, by the looks of things, we won't be here for too long. because Tiger should close this out. But really, this buy round's the litmus test of their T side. And we'll see if it's going to be toxic, although that is not what a litmus test measures. Or if it's going to be, I guess, actually, if it's going to be basic and burning away their enemies in an acidic way. We'll see which one it is. Hopefully not too basic.
You've really gone off meta, I guess you could say, with your analogies. Oh! What?
How's he won that fight? And then they almost lose apartments to a 2K spray down by Derek, which would have been shocking, bro.
What is this round?
Jesus, I don't know what's going on anymore. Honestly, I feel like I'm in an alternate universe. I've been learning to play Counter-Strike for many, many years, and evidently I've been learning it wrong.
Do you know what I want to know? The answer to a question after the game, of course. I think it's the first thing that needs to be answered is, does Dinko still think that this team is going to get to the final? Because they've got to beat Vici to get there. Like, that's at least their upper bracket match. Now, I'm not saying Vici have been superb throughout this tournament, but I don't even think Tiger would beat Invictus playing like this. Like, well, you're almost playing like Invictus, which, if anybody's ever learned, that's not how you beat Invictus. Tai Lu met that earlier in the tournament. But they ran through a smoke to get an entry. Okay, that worked. No idea how. Then they run onto the site without checking it at all. Like, it's like they've just gone full. Maybe they listened to what I said earlier, where they're like, "Oh yeah, we got Vici coming up. We don't want to show any of our strats." But
nah,
that's no. But what I was gonna follow up with is that doesn't mean don't use any flashbangs or any smokes. Like, that's not quite the plan. It just means don't show anything spicy or new or changes.
Yeah, as if Tyloo or Vici are going to be watching going, all right, guys, so let's be prepared for them to rush banana one at a time and then run through a smoke randomly. Like, that's... Nah. I agree that there's an extent to which that is viable if they don't come in with any big executes or fakes or even seizing map control. You play a two-dimensional kind of Counter-Strike. Right now, they're playing an individual kind of Counter-Strike at times, and at other times, I don't even think there is a dimension to it. It is demented more so than dimensional. As I said, they're playing as if possessed by gold novas in terms of the decision making. Certainly not in terms of the aim. It's still crisp as can be, and I mean that's visible by Cabal pushing through the smoke, and I think that's the big distinction that can be made at times.
It's the reverse of Space Jam.
I don't remember that movie well enough to understand what you said.
So basically the aliens take the powers from basketball players.
Oh yeah. Okay, exactly.
So it's that, but backwards. They took it from the wrong people. Or maybe someone took their power. Maybe that's what's going on. Who knows? But yeah. Ooh.
You know, that
I think
wasn't
my
real.
feed lagged quite hard there. Did he just get killed through the wall? He did.
That is unfortunate.
Well, Papi Chulo's gone pushing down the bottom of mid, so they're going to be coming in with a hot flank, and the T's need to get things moving. Urka's still standing, so I have some faith, and so is Dobu. If anything, they've got the players they need still surviving. Dobu didn't actually spot that player crossover, so it was meant as a bit of a bait, but I like the little trade available. However, for Micro, there wasn't that same luxury. He goes down. Pro seemingly was a little bit too far behind, and now this ends up in a 2 versus 2. 9 doesn't really need to hold in the other direction and leaves himself completely open. Urkas left as the last man standing, him facing off against Derek, and he's not quite going to be able to do it. Derek continues to win out these clutches for his side. How many rounds now if they only have one player surviving? It's actually ridiculous. There's 8 on the board. And for the T side, they've still got to buy. It's only NCL who won't be able to afford to buy, and I'll be honest, the amount of times he switched to a smoke instead of holding his gun anyway makes me think that it doesn't really matter too much.
I do not understand what happened at the end of the round there, though, in that 2v2, why you're leaving construction completely open like that. Like, you know that that's the only angle that your teammate isn't covering for them peeking on the site. Like, it's the only place he could be peeked from and killed. And he felt the need to swing in and look at Banana. Where even if there was a player there, let's pretend, Tom, that there was someone at the half wall. If they killed him, his teammate couldn't trade. So that was completely pointless. You know, you put yourself in a position where you're taking a 1v1 fight and a 2v2 with time on your side and exposing yourself to an angle that your teammate cannot cover. It's just silly. Oh, taking a 1v1 fight, which you can't be traded in. And then exposing yourself.
Did NCL get the info there? He shoulder peeked, but it's whether or not he could actually see Wits through the corner of the Molotov. Now, the deep Molotov keeps him a little bit further back, so they can't actually pull any rotations over early. That's why you normally try and take Banana control when you have an AWP micro. He's only going to be good for one. The smoke is not good, but it works out for Dobu. Manages to capitalize off what is looking like a fairly big mistake, and the CTs don't really have a choice. And that seems to be pretty much the crux of... Okay. I don't get why they're just using up utility.
I'd love to help you out with that one, Tom, but... Again,
Is he going to try and get a gun? They're just going to go Banana, surely.
No.
Oh, no. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Right.
Okay, thank God.
Well.
No, wait. Urkus is still lurking around on the site. He's got enough time to get away.
You see the
Anything
lack
extra?
of faith that we have as soon as you see a player move towards CT, you're just like, oh, well, he's going to push the smoke and die. Because that's what's been happening so far. With 13-8 for Tiger, I do feel like they can't possibly lose this. It has to be 2-0. But at the same time, logic doesn't always prevail. You know, BREN come into this with a full buy, and I feel like Wits was really unlucky in that previous round, Tom. Like, first of all, the first spam when he got flashed off the corner and spawn, it was whatever. It happens. The second, though, he swung out, he took a shot, didn't find anything, somehow managed to make it back to spawn, and then missed the third shot as well. A poor chap, he's being smacked by a couple missed shots that could have really turned the tide of the round, to be honest. He was blind for two of them, but it was just the RNG even. The T's were everywhere, and he shot the one pixel where they weren't each time. Sometimes you roll the dice and you just get a 0, even though that's not on a dice. Lands on its corner.
T's looking like they're going to move a little bit quicker in this round. They've taken mid control, and CTs almost seem like they're playing scared at this point. Both sites very passive. Derek's been tagged down to, well, minuscule amounts of HP, left onto just 13, and I don't have a lot of faith in them in this current situation. T's patiently waiting to see if there's going to be any re-aggression, but ultimately it does look like they are going to try and make the play in towards this A site. Papi Chulo's actually gone a bit more aggressive, trying to get up in the face. I guess they need to kind of find out info at this point. And actually, they've gone deep into the top of Banana as well, so they should know that this is going to be an A site hit at this point. Push out from Papi Chulo. That's a big surprise. I like the play, and Cabal's killed off NCL. It's definitely not a perfect round so far from Tiger. Already making some pretty serious mistakes, and Papi Chulo's still in position trying to hold the cross. They've only got 25 seconds. Urkus, however, pounces at the perfect time. The hero they always seem to need, but thankfully for them, he delivers. I think you might need to start getting that flight ready, because honestly, I think we need him saved. 14-8. Tiger are going to take themselves a further lead. Honestly, like, I assume NCL's calling, right?
I guess so.
We just replace him with Techno.
Well, look, it could be a good call. Get some fresh eyes in the situation.
I think Urkus at this point has to be experienced enough to lead, if he isn't already. Like, I'm fairly certain it was NCL. Otherwise, I can't see a particularly valid reason for him to be in the team. No offense. if he ever watches his back, which he won't, because I can't imagine they kept an eye on too many demos. But here we go. 9 is actually just going to go solo pushing up. But yeah, he seems to be more of a rock and a calm player, whereas a lot of these players seem to be far more aggressive. So especially because their B site definitely has some vulnerabilities. I think at least on this map in particular, it would make a really good fill. And only 16 years of age, not signed. Sounds like a good call to me. Derek, though, is going to start things off. Saw the trade attempted. In fact, Cabal, not expecting the AWP to be there, is going to reaggress in towards the apartments. Leave a 3-on-5 situation. Now, the bomb's still down. That will have to be retrieved if they are going to make a play. And this position currently being held by BREN is an interesting one. You've got the boost at the back of the site, which is normally good for a kill, but the second player sat just below. I don't know if that will be expected. Now, the most common Molotov to be thrown onto this site is normally for that back corner. However, with the Molotov being in the hands of 9, I can't really expect him to utilize it. That's always the problem with the AWP. It doesn't normally come into play. The second player actually peeking out, so it's somewhat given away by Wits. He could have just played as the secret man at the back of the site, but instead he's going to end up getting a kill, and his teammate will come in from behind. Much better round from BREN, even if it is a very, very passive one. I like the play that they make in towards the apartments, and I like some of the re-aggression we're starting to see from them. It looks like they might start to calm down a little bit. And for the T side, well, it does really just seem at the moment that they need an individual to bail them out of every single round.
Even when they get that start, Tom, it is bailing them out, right? Because they just give the opportunities back again and again. This double op setup, not something that you'll see every single time from any team ever. But yet, here we go. Wits is going to try it, and it's going to work. Hitting it onto Urkas straight down the bottom of Banana, and they will biggity bail on out of there, hopefully soon. Hello, run away. Because those T's could have already pushed up towards the top of B. But they've not. They've gone for slow banana control. As the smokes dissipate, molly down, they're just going to clear this out and gain the map control. The problem is that, well, that has left them with a man disadvantage, and it's not a fantastic trade. Are they going to flash around this corner? No, they're playing anti-flash. Okay. It's just the fact that he was backing up to the corner. I thought they were going to go for a very aggressive play. And that really is like going all in with a 10 and a 2. You got the worst hand, but you just want to see if you can make it work, and I mean, maybe. But more than likely not. And for Tiger, they've got plenty of rounds to play with, so the pressure isn't on. But at the same time, you'd like to see them close this one out and go have their dinner.
Micro's just going to go peeking in, though. He's just handed away a kill. Wanted to try and make a play and has ended up leaving it all onto Wits at the back of the site. He's missed his first shot, and because of that, he's going to fall as well. The CT side might have to just consider a save here, as Papi Chulo's the only one anywhere near the action. Bomb's going to be planted. He's trying to spam, well, I guess the edge of the smoke, because he ended up just shooting the wall. Eventually, they come to the same realization that I did. It's just going to have to be the save. So, Tiger with a push into the B site. Micro trying to be the hero. It is peculiar. Again, like, it wasn't too bad a situation for them already. They didn't really need to take that sort of risk. And, well, again, no offense to Micro, but he's not been playing well enough that I want to see him making plays that aggressive.
One more round, Tom. Is it going to be vinegar or fine wine? That's the question. This is only one way to find out, and it's all in the hands of Tiger. They're the ones that are brewing it up. They're the ones standing on the grapes. You know, that's the thing. They're like the smaller wine companies. They smash the grapes with their feet.
Mmm, tasty.
Delicious.
Honestly, that's how I like all of my food made.
I was wondering why the waitress looked at you so weird in Ukraine. Wondering what you said to her in Ukrainian. So my steak, so I do need it to be cooked medium well, but also just step
medium
on
well.
it.
Oh, I'm
or
not
medium rare.
savage.
Sorry, God, my apologies. Jesus, I've just insulted you on a live show. But yeah, also I need you to stand on it, like without your shoes, preferably. It's for the taste. Like some people season their steak with salt. Tom, Dom just uses feet. Oh god. Oh god. Blaz just used the turn of phrase feet juice. That was disgusting. Thank you, Blaz.
We've got chicken cam. 15-9. Tiger, it's not been clean, it's not been pretty, and sometimes it's been damn right word that rhymes with pretty.
Liddy.
It was. Sure. We'll see if they can close this one out. They've lost the early man advantage once again, but that happened in the last round, and that was where there was an aggressive reface for BREN. Probably looking to try and find some information, but it didn't quite work out for them. It's the same as the last map. It seems like it takes them too long to get settled on their CT side, or on their T side as well. Because of that, it just gives too much momentum over to Tiger's side. They take rounds just back off individual brilliance. So you've got 26 kills coming up for Dobu, 20 for 9 as well. I think it's only really NCL having a bit of a quieter match, but that's honestly okay at this point. Because it's going to go pushing up with the orb. Wits on the other side. What is that reaction shot? Gets the headshot through the wall. Clearly feeling confident enough, but there's an instant trade back from Derek. Papi Chulo has found another with NCL already down to just 22 HP. This comes down to Cabal. Gonna have to try and make a play out of the apartments. He's spotted a player close. NCL might actually be the one to try and make a move off of this, but they are separated, and I'm confused as to the decision making here. NCL goes forward, Cabal goes back, and now Cabal left in a 1v3. Spots out the first, gets the kill. Second player also still peeking him. No reason to. 9 seconds. Can't lose this round if you just stay passive. It's impossible. So just hide in the pit or wide face. You know, that works too. And it's going to be 15-10. BREN still win it.
They get out on top this time. They force Tiger down to a weaker economy, and it should be 15-11, really. We'll see what Tiger decide to invest into. Hopefully not a force buy. You get 2 AKs, weaker weapons, and yeah, the Tech 9 coming out. It's the right call, in my opinion. I like it. We'll see what they can get done with these weaker weapons in hand. I mean, for Tiger, you can see that they're looking over towards second mid with 4 players early on, and there's a 3-man stack on Banana. If they do take this quickly to A, they can make some heavy pressure work, especially because that AWP was up close, but they've slowed it down. They've pumped the brakes, and that gives Wits time to reposition and to get Papi Chulo around on long for a standard A hold. What I will say is Papi Chulo having an SMG in this round. Everyone has armor, but not head armor, so that could help him out a little bit, but Wits is under pressure. Shut down. The smoke gone long. They're coming through it. It's risky, and Derek couldn't even support as they went to the side. It took him way too long to get that kill, and they've closed in the distance to Papi Chulo, taking him down, and put this 3v3 on the board with the bomb planted.
Yeah, they're going to clear out the pit. Cabal is going to find a kill, and they've done it again. Ended it in a similar fashion, an awkward buy and a fast play. BREN just pretty much showing that they are one of the weaker teams in this one, and they are going to be eliminated. They will head into that 5th to 6th matchup. They'll get to play one more time in the